Imagine a paradise of over 300 volcanic islands, scattered across the turquoise expanse of the South Pacific. This is Fiji, but before it became the idyllic destination we know today. Its story was forged in fire, conflict, and the meeting of vastly different worlds. Our journey begins around 1500 BC, when intrepid seafarers, known as the Lapita people, first navigated these waters. They were master potters and navigators, laying the foundations of a unique Fijian culture that would flourish in isolation for millennia. For nearly 3,000 years, this world remained largely untouched by outsiders. Then, the sails of a new era appeared on the horizon. In 1643, Dutch explorer Abel Tasman was the first European to sight the islands. But he didn't dare to land, wary of the treacherous reefs. It wasn't until 1789 that another famous mariner, Captain William Bligh of the HMS Bounty, navigated through the archipelago after the infamous mutiny. These fleeting encounters were just the beginning. The early 19th century brought a different kind of visitor: traders. They came in search of sandalwood, a fragrant wood highly prized in China. This new trade brought unprecedented wealth, and along with it, new tools and new dangers. Soon after, the traders came the missionaries, both Wesleyan and Catholic, determined to introduce Christianity. They found a society engaged in fierce tribal warfare, and their arrival would profoundly alter the spiritual landscape of the islands. Though the old ways and the new beliefs would often exist side by side, the introduction of European muskets dramatically changed the nature of conflict in Fiji. What were once ritualized tribal skirmishes escalated into devastating wars for dominance. Guns became the ultimate currency, and chiefs traded land, resources, and even people to acquire them. In the midst of this chaos, one powerful chief from the island of Bo began to rise above the rest. His name was Ratu Saru Epenisa Kakabau. Ambitious and ruthless, Kakabau used a combination of strategic warfare, political alliances, and European weaponry to expand his influence. He saw that the old ways of fragmented chiefdoms were no longer sustainable in this new, interconnected world. He envisioned a unified Fijian kingdom, with himself as its king. By the 1850s, after converting to Christianity, he had consolidated significant power, styling himself Tuivaiti, the King of Fiji. However, his kingdom was fragile, plagued by internal rivalries and mounting debts to American creditors. Kakabau's dream of a stable, independent kingdom was under threat. Pressured by internal strife and the looming possibility of American intervention over his debts, he began to look for a powerful ally. An initial offer to cede the islands to Great Britain was rejected. But as the strategic and economic importance of the region grew, Britain's interest was piqued. After years of negotiation and facing continued instability, Kakabau, along with 12 other paramount chiefs, made a momentous decision. On October 10, 1874, in the old capital of Levuka, the Fijian flag was lowered, and the Union Jack was raised. Fiji was officially ceded to the British Empire. For Kakabau, it was a pragmatic choice to secure peace and stability for his people under the protection of Queen Victoria. For Britain, it was the acquisition of another jewel in its colonial crown. This act marked the end of Fiji's turbulent pre-colonial era and the beginning of nearly a century under British rule. The new colonial administration, led by its first governor, Sir Arthur Gordon, faced a major challenge: how to make the colony profitable without disrupting the traditional Fijian way of life, which he sought to protect. The answer lay in sugarcane, but who would work the vast new plantations? Governor Gordon, having witnessed the devastating impact of such labor on indigenous populations elsewhere, was determined not to use the Fijian people. Instead, he looked to another part of the British Empire, India. In 1879, the first ship carrying indentured laborers from India arrived in Fiji. These men and women, known as the Germatiyas, signed contracts, or gurmat, to work for 5 years in grueling conditions. They were promised a potential return passage, but the reality was often harsh. Over the next 4 decades, more than 60,000 Indians made the journey. When their contracts ended, most chose to stay, leasing or buying small plots of land. They built their own communities, temples, and mosques, preserving their culture while adapting to a new home. This system, which lasted until 1916, irrevocably transformed Fiji, creating the foundation of the multicultural, multi-ethnic society that defines the nation today. As the 20th century progressed, a new desire for self-determination began to sweep across the globe, and Fiji was no exception. The seeds of modern politics were sown as different communities began to advocate for their interests. Indo-Fijians sought greater political representation, while the traditional Fijian leadership worked to safeguard indigenous land and rights. The path to independence was a careful negotiation, a balancing act between these diverse interests. A series of constitutional conferences were held in London to hammer out a framework for a new, independent nation. The goal was to create a system that respected the rights and aspirations of all Fiji's citizens. Finally, a consensus was reached. On October 10, 1970, exactly 96 years to the day since the cession to Britain, the Union Jack was lowered for the last time. In its place, the bright blue flag of an independent Fiji, with its shield representing the nation's heritage and the dove of peace, was raised. Prince Charles, representing the Queen, formally handed over the instruments of independence. It was a moment of immense pride and optimism, as Fiji stepped onto the world stage as a sovereign nation. Independence was not the end of the story, but the beginning of a new chapter filled with its own unique triumphs and challenges. The post-independence era saw Fiji grapple with the complexities of building a modern nation. The country's political landscape was often turbulent, marked by coups and constitutional crises, as it struggled to balance the interests of its multi-ethnic population. Yet through it all, the Fijian spirit of resilience endured. The economy diversified beyond sugar, with tourism becoming a vital industry, showcasing the island's stunning natural beauty to the world. Fiji also became a prominent voice for small island nations on the global stage, particularly in advocating for action on climate change, an existential threat to its very existence. The nation has continued to evolve, striving to forge a common national identity that embraces all its people. Today, Fiji stands as a vibrant tapestry of cultures, a place where ancient traditions and modern life coexist. You can hear the harmonious blend of Fijian, Hindi, and English spoken on the streets. You can see the spire of a church, the minaret of a mosque, and the gopuram of a Hindu temple sharing the same skyline. From the exhilarating meek dances of the Aitake to the colorful celebrations of Diwali and Eid, Fiji's cultural calendar is a testament to its diverse heritage. The people, known for their warmth and hospitality, embody the famous Beulah spirit. It's a story that began with daring ocean voyagers and continues with a proud, independent nation navigating its path in the 21st century. This is Fiji paradise, not just of sun and sea, but of history, culture, and incredible human resilience. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to follow for more journeys into the heart of history.